This week's episode of History of the Known World is brought to you again by Arcolana Milk, TM. As you all know, Arcolana Milk, TM, comes from K. Castor Farms and is produced organically from their humanely treated herds and scientifically enhanced to fuel the body and clean the mind. Always inspiring great days and relaxing nights. It's good for when you're tired or when you need to be tired. And as the jingle says, Arcolana Milk, it's the one to drink when you're only drinking one. My name is Professor Wimbleshades, and this is History of the Known World. Today I again bring you an episode from my friend Mythmander's wonderful card stories. This is another episode from Tales of the Tumult, Season 1, Amongst the Confluence. This is Episode 4, Baba Yaga. From then on, we would begin our day as normal. Sometimes when I was worn out from walking and my father's shoulders were too sore for me, we would stop for a meal or a snack, and then I would begin to tell stories. At first I would tell the stories only as I remembered them. 2 children in a wood following a path to a candy house. A sausage, a bird, and a rat living in a house together. A young girl traveling on a tornado. And when I would get to the part I could not remember, which often happened as a child, my uncle would prompt me with a question. It was more of a hint of the next part than a curious inquiry. But it helped spur my stories on. As time went on, I was even bored of those stories, and I began to make up stories to answers to those questions my uncle would give me. The stories became more of a thing that I wanted to tell than repeating what was in the books that I had memorized. The times I remember most fondly were the times I made them laugh, like when the children found the candy house was infested with ants, or when the bird, so upset that the sausage had found a new home, flew off to eat the sausage's wife a corn of cob, or a girl taming the wild tornado. Without knowing it, my uncle helped me grow into a storyteller. As the months began to pass, my uncle had turned the storytelling into a sort of game. I would begin a story, and then he would suddenly interrupt. Not with a question, but more of a statement. I might begin a story about a princess in a castle, and then he would say, "But what about the street urchin that lived on the road to the castle?" And suddenly, the princess and the urchin were traveling the kingdom together on a whole new adventure. And then my uncle would say, "But what about the fisherman who lived on the edge of the kingdom?" And so the fisherman would meet the princess and offer her his latest catch. And the urchin would cook it over a hot fire. My father called the game, "But what about?" But my uncle called them the Baron stories. It was not until months later that I learned who the Baron was.